Imagine a scenario where a harmless prank can turn deadly. A terrifying reality in the gaming community known as swatting. This devious act involves someone making a false report to the police, leading them to deploy a SWAT team to an unsuspecting person's home. Born out of the competitive, sometimes toxic world of online gaming, it's a prank that can have serious, even fatal consequences. One such unsuspecting victim of this dangerous game was Andrew Finch. A family man, a loving father, just an ordinary guy living an ordinary life. But one day his world was turned upside down, all because of a dispute he had no part in, a game he never played. Swatting is no laughing matter. It's a crime that can shatter lives, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. But how did a harmless man like Andrew Finch fall victim to such a dangerous prank? Let's delve deeper. December 28, 2017, a day that started ordinarily for Andrew Finch, but ended in a tragic twist of fate. Andrew Finch, a father of two from Wichita, Kansas, had no idea that his life would be irrevocably changed due to an online gaming dispute, in which he had no involvement. A dispute, fiery as they often are in the gaming world, was unfolding between two Call of Duty players. A $1.50 wager was the kindling, but a threat was the spark that ignited the unfortunate series of events. One of the gamers, in a fit of anger, dared the other to send a SWAT team to his house, providing what he thought was his own address. But fate had a cruel trick to play. The address was Andrew Finch's. Enter Tyler Barris, a 25-year-old from Los Angeles known in the gaming community for his swatting pranks, the dangerous act of making a hoax call to emergency services in an attempt to bring about the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to a particular address. Barris, taking up the dare, made that call. He spun a chilling tale of a hostage situation and multiple fatalities, ensuring a swift and urgent response from the Wichita Police Department. The police, believing they were responding to a deadly hostage situation, surrounded Finch's home. Andrew, oblivious to the online dispute or the call, stepped out on his porch to see what the commotion was about. In the tense atmosphere, a sudden move was misinterpreted, and a single shot rang out. Andrew Finch was dead, a tragic casualty of a dispute he had no part in. The devastating ripple effect of a seemingly harmless online spat had reached its peak, transforming an ordinary day into a deadly one, and leaving a family to mourn a loved one they had lost too soon. An innocent man, Andrew Finch, lost his life due to a dispute he had no part in. The shocking death of Andrew Finch prompted a thorough investigation, unveiling a chilling reality. The investigators, working tirelessly, managed to trace the call that resulted in Finch's untimely death. The call had been placed by a man named Tyler Barris, known in the online gaming world as a swatter. Barris was a serial offender, notorious for his involvement in numerous swatting incidents across the United States. The threads of the investigation led to a revelation that was as shocking as it was tragic. It turned out that the swatting call was the result of a petty dispute over a mere $1.50 in an online game. The dispute was between two gamers, Casey Viner and Shane Gaskell. Viner, angered by the game's outcome, had enlisted Barris to swat Gaskell as a form of retribution. But Gaskell, aware of Viner's intentions, had given him a false address, and that address was Andrew Finch's. The police, acting on Barris's call, had arrived at Finch's doorstep, and in the ensuing confusion, Finch had been fatally shot. The case against Barris, Viner, and Gaskell was swift and decisive. Barris was charged with involuntary manslaughter, giving false alarm, and interference with law enforcement. Viner and Gaskell too faced charges for their roles in the deadly prank. They were charged with wire fraud, conspiracy to make false hoax reports, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. This tragic incident served as a stark wake-up call, laying bare the lethal potential of swatting. It forced not just the gaming community but also law enforcement agencies to confront this dangerous trend head-on. The death of Andrew Finch was a grim reminder of the real-world consequences of online disputes and the devastating fallout of such dangerous pranks. The tragic incident exposed the deadly potential of swatting, forcing the gaming community and law enforcement to confront this dangerous trend. Andrew Finch's tragic death is a grim reminder of the dangers lurking in the virtual world of gaming. It underlines the stark reality of a malicious prank known as swatting, where a hoax call is made to emergency services with the intent of drawing an armed response to an unsuspecting victim's address. In a world where technology and anonymity can be wielded as weapons, the line between the digital realm and real-life consequences has never been more blurred. The aftermath of these swatting incidents is daunting. Victims, like Finch, are thrust into dangerous situations where their lives hang in the balance. They become pawns in a game they never signed up for, their safety compromised by someone else's misguided sense of amusement or revenge. For the perpetrators, the legal consequences are severe. The person responsible for Finch's death was sentenced to 20 years in prison, a clear testament to the gravity of these offenses. But beyond these individual consequences, swatting has a ripple effect. It strains law enforcement resources, putting communities at risk, and fosters distrust and fear. Yet despite these risks, swatting continues to be a problem within the gaming community. It's a stark reminder of the need for action. Game developers, platform providers, and players themselves must foster an environment that condemns these dangerous pranks. They need to work in tandem with law enforcement agencies to identify potential threats and prevent them from escalating into tragedies. On the other hand, law enforcement also needs to adapt. Training to distinguish between genuine threats and potential swatting calls could save innocent lives. Collaboration with the gaming industry could lead to the development of preventative measures, helping to reduce the occurrence of these deadly pranks. As we remember Andrew Finch, let's acknowledge the urgent need to tackle swatting and make the gaming community a safer place for everyone. His story should serve as a catalyst for change, a call to action that resonates within the gaming community and beyond, urging us to ensure that such a tragedy never repeats itself.